The college basketball experience pregame show for Saturday, March 2nd on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up today with the promo code SGPN and then go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/dog to enter our bonus contest. 5 winners will receive shirts, hats, and a $50 SGPA gift card. We're also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets. Yes, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com. Use that promo code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today, people. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
Hey, this is Derek Stevens. I'm the owner of Circa Las Vegas. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Yes. Woo! Welcome to the college basketball experience pregame show for Saturday, March 2nd. The slate is loaded. If you didn't catch the show last night, you're good. I mean, you can go back and listen to it. That'll help us. But I'm saying, if not, this is your take 2 right here. Look, if you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, my name is Colby Swig and Database Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I smoke and I drink and I don't have stress and I'm healthy.
Yes, the chat is rolling. Cason's in there saying, fuck my corporate job. Let's go. I know the feeling. Been there before. Yeah. YouTube.com/the college experience. Hopefully you're watching this. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Rory B says, I'm an East Coaster. I can finally watch this live. There we go. This guy, he's an East Coaster and he's always doing amazing fucking content. He is the host of the NBA Gambling Podcast, the host of the WNBA Gambling Podcast. You've heard him on the NFL Gambling Podcast and the Sports Gambling Podcast, but he got his start right here. Give it up for Terrell Furman, aka Really Rel. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. Is your shelf leveled? Is it leveled? It's good. It's good. I
had to go through this on the show, so I don't know how better to explain the apartment that I'm in. It's a 2-story apartment, but it's kind of like an A-frame, right? It's like an A, and people the other day tried to call me out on my shelves being crooked. Had to bust out the level. The
leveler. Ooh.
In the middle of the show. Take a photo. It's the rooms. The room is kind of it's kind of weird. You know what I mean? I've never seen some shit like this. I was putting a flat screen up. And this is one bedroom, the other one's on the other side, and it's like you're sitting there and you're like, why does this look awkward? You know, and it's like, well, the level's telling me this is level, and I'm like, okay, but it looks, when you look at it, it looks like, wait, there's more space.
They said the same thing about me. I had a poster one time. They said the same thing on the NBA show that my poster was unleveled, and it's like, no, man, maybe you're unleveled.
Well, there is a chance too that my computer is I have it on top of like a box. I always do that just to elevate it from the table. So maybe that could be a little bit of the problem too. But yeah, I mean, I find it hilarious, and I proved them wrong, and so now I think the people want me to check the top shelf, and we'll do that on another episode. But how you doing, man? How's everything?
It's all right. I'm here. I'm living. I hit a parlay last night. Nice little NBA parlay last night.
Little 10-1. What'd you take? What'd you take there?
What I have?
Well, I don't get.
I had Charlotte plus the points. I had the Pelicans to get it done as well on the money line, and then what was it? The under in the Bulls and the Bucks game, and then fade the Celtics. Luka, there was nobody to guard Luka. So I had Luka up there as well.
I received hot tips on the VSiN show last night to take the Utah Jazz plus 7.5. I think it was today.
Oh yeah. Fade Miami as a home favorite. You fade Miami as a home favorite all the time. Never question it. They're like some 45%, 46%, like as a home favorite. You just fade it.
The other play that I was told was Atlanta plus the points, even though they just got drilled by Brooklyn. I don't know.
It's a deja vu game. Nice little deja vu game.
Yeah, I do like
Atlanta
that revenge angle.
Atlanta sucks though. Don't bet that game ever. Like, just don't. No, Atlanta is bad. But I wouldn't be surprised if Atlanta won. But Atlanta sucks.
Yeah, they play. This is their second game in 24 hours. Folks, get on over there. Subscribe to the NBA Gambling Podcast. Terrell and company have you covered with the association. Today's college slate is pretty fire, pretty important. They almost have playoff-like games going on, and one of those tips very shortly. Villanova, Providence. The Friars are laying 2.5. Kim English, I got to give him all the credit in the world because, I thought I didn't think he did a bad job at George Mason. I thought he brought in more talent at George Mason, but I just wasn't buying in yet that he was ready for the big time job yet. He's making me look like a fool because they lose Bryce Hopkins, and I thought, their season's cooked. And they've been able. Josh Adora was a huge transfer that he brought with him from George Mason. A couple other key guys, and this is right now they're in the NCAA tournament projected by a lot of people, but they're not that far in. They are last 4 in, some have them last 8 in, and now they're taking on Villanova, who is first 4 out for a lot of different projections. The Friars are laying 2.5 at the Dunk. We know the Dunk is rocking always. Villanova though, veteran team this year. Kyle Neptune, I know people are calling for his head. I personally think they should give another year. Your thoughts on this one? Because as much as I do like Nova, I just think that environment, the way that stadium gets up, and then the fact that Providence is kind of a veteran team too. So I lean Providence minus 2.5. I've already bet this, but I'm curious your thoughts.
Yeah, I think I'm rolling with the Friars here, and I'm going to bet it too. I think the Friars get it done at home here with just everything on the line. This is a playoff game. And to be honest, this is a playoff game for both of these two teams. They both feel like they need this win to have a shot at the tournament. But I just think that Villanova's shot is just more off of name value rather than thinking that the team is good enough to actually compete, like legitly compete in not only the Big East tournament, but the NCAA tournament. So, I'm on the Friars here. I think they have a little bit better of a squad, even with missing their star player for a majority of the season. I think they're starting to figure it out a little bit more. Give me Providence to get it done. And
Daquan saying, outline this thing. Not a horrible play. Clark is on Villanova saying Justin Moore's been playing a lot better. Glad to see him playing better. I know he's going through hell with those injuries. I just think that the spot is too tough for Villanova. Villanova has been awful on the road this year. Now I know you can say, well, Justin Moore wasn't as healthy as he is now. Still, I just think that environment is a very hard environment to go into and win. So I'm on the Friars. I think they get it done. We also have Florida State, Georgia Tech in the ACC. Georgia Tech getting 3.5 in Atlanta. Kind of a snooze fest, but I think Jamin Stoudemire and Georgia Tech have looked all right this year. I think it's a decent first year. I'm going to take the Yellow Jackets at home to beat Florida State. Your thoughts on this one, Terrell?
I think I'm going against you. I think I'm going with Florida State. The Yellow Jackets only get up when it's good teams. When do they ever get up for bad teams? They get destroyed by bad teams, and then they go play good teams really tough. This is a system play here. Give me Florida State.
Florida State's being inconsistent as hell too, though. I mean, I get your point with Georgia Tech, but yeah.
Okay.
Butler's taking on DePaul. Butler's laying 11.5. Lay it. I actually bet that. Lay it because Butler needs a big time win right now. We have another pretty much I don't know if this counts as much as a playoff game because both teams are definitely making the NCAA tournament. But I find this game fascinating because the SEC title race. You have Alabama and Tennessee tied for first place. They're doing battle today in Tuscaloosa. We'll talk about that game in a bit. But at the same time, Florida's 2 games back. But once again, knowing that Alabama and Tennessee play each other, they potentially can be 1 game back. And South Carolina is 1 game back right now. So South Carolina already won in Knoxville and they host Tennessee. I think it's Tuesday or Wednesday. So you're in a spot here where if South Carolina, I think both schools should be rooting for Tennessee to beat Bama because Bama, I think, has a tiebreaker on both of them and they don't play again. But if Tennessee wins today in Tuscaloosa, South Carolina can win the SEC, basically the 1 seed with a win. Essentially, I think if they will close out, they have 2 games left after this. So high stakes. Florida's still alive too. I'm fascinated by this game. The Gators. Now this line has crept up 1 point overnight. I am now seeing South Carolina -2.5 as opposed to 1.5. I think this is a 1 possession game, man. I like South Carolina at 1.5. At 2.5, I'm like, I'm still go Gamecocks. Reluctantly a little bit. I think this is a 1 possession game. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I'm good. I'll lock up South Carolina Gamecocks. They get it done. Florida's been rough on the road, 3-7 on the road, 13-2 at home for South Carolina. They understand now that they are being they are the hunted. It's different when you're hunting everybody. You're a dog every day, and you're going out there and you're winning games outright.
Terrell locking up the Gamecocks.
Yeah. They figured it out. They figured it out. It's -2 South Carolina.
Yeah. There's also the Kansas Jayhawks taking on the Baylor Bears. Kansas has never lost 7 games in the Big 12.
Lot. This is a lot
on Baylor's side, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yes. No Kevin McCullough, it looks like game time decision, but I highly doubt that he plays.
KU's not making it out of the first weekend of the tournament this year.
They're not as good, and we'll see who they get because sometimes they get that love. You know, the name brands get that overseeded.
They're gonna get the love. They're gonna get the love of a good matchup, and they're gonna win the first game. They're gonna lose the next game. They're not making it out the first weekend.
Bold. I like it. I'm with Terrell though. Double lock Baylor, and I know Frankie Cox. Shout out to Frankie Cox in the chat. He's saying, Colby, can I ask a favor? I'm on the way to take my son to his basketball practice. Awesome. Good dad. And need a quick 3-leg parlay. Even better dad now. Baylor and Providence are 2 that I would throw on that right now. Now Terrell says South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
I
you don't
said
have to take them. If you don't want to take them, we'll have to take them.
I said Butler against the DePaul, I think is all right, but how about?
What about? Can I take you to the Big Ten?
Are you talking about the Badgers?
Oh yeah,
I'm on the Badgers too. That is that's it right there. Because look, Wisconsin.
I feel good.
Wisconsin has been ass lately, right? 4-6 in their last 10.
Mm-hmm.
They're taking on a top 15 team in Madison. Why is it Wisconsin favored by 3.5 points? It's telling you, Vegas is telling you the Badgers are gonna win the game. So I'm assuming you're on the Badgers too, right?
Absolutely, they need a marquee win. You're at home. You went through the not Big East, but the Big Ten. Squandered all of these games. You were actually pretty good position to make the tournament. Now you're looking like where are they at? Probably first 4 out, last 4 in, somewhere around that range, if even that far. They need a really, really good win, and they need something that give them that momentum into the Big Ten tournament. Absolutely. At home, and this is what, second to last home game for this team? Yeah, I'm all over Wisconsin. Get it done.
Boom, I'm with you. Badgers. So Frankie, Badgers, Baylor Bears, Providence Friars. Let's roll. Arkansas is catching 13.5 at Kentucky. This is another one I think is, I bet Arkansas. Arkansas is a strange team. They'll lose to Vanderbilt, but they get up in these big spots. They get up and play well in these big spots. We've seen it. They took down Duke. They took down A&M. It's random. It's random. But Kentucky just had a huge win in Starkville. I think they come home. Kentucky's probably still going to win the game, but I think 13.5 points. I think Arkansas can stay within that number because they get up for these big spots. What are you doing here? Because I bet this already. I took the Razorbacks.
I'm not betting Arkansas. I'm not betting Arkansas. I mean, they have a chance. I think everybody's so quick to just fade since this Kentucky team after they won a couple of games, but I don't know, man. I don't think this is just the team I'm ready to fade right now. They don't play any defense, but is Arkansas going to keep up? Like Kentucky's going to be running a million miles a minute in this game.
I just feel like 13.
It could be 90.
I would set this at 7.5 or 8.
It could be 90-70. Even Kentucky minus 13.5. I'm not going to lock it though.
I've already bet this. So give me the Razorbacks. Musselman shows up in these big spots. What else do we got? We got Oregon in a gigantic game. The Ducks. This is what's great about this Saturday is that you have these teams in these spots. Mid majors are playing for everything. Your power schools, Oregon is in a spot where they don't have a good enough resume right now. Now, luckily for Oregon, you play Arizona, Colorado, and Utah, and all three could be in the big dance. I don't personally think all three will get in, but they're battling for that right now. Oregon can control its own fate right here. I know it's a really tough environment going into Tucson, but Arizona is coming off of the Arizona State game. Mm-hmm. So maybe a little bit of a letdown spot, but Oregon's getting 13.5. I'll take the points much. This is kind of like the Arkansas game for me. I think the line's a little off. I don't expect Oregon to win, but I think Arizona wins by 7-8 points. Oregon covers. I'm on the Ducks. I already bet this as well. What are you doing here?
Yeah, the line's just a little bit too much for me. I would love to fade the Ducks any chance I can get. I would love to fade the Ducks here. I'm off of this team completely, but they keep it close. 10-point loss.
Quack, quack, quack.
I ain't gonna say all that.
And Clark's saying there's plus 14 out there as well. So get on over there, find the sharpest lines. I got a play that I think could be wild. I think Oklahoma State is going to give Texas more than they bargained for. Texas coming off the huge road win against Texas Tech. They come back home. Oklahoma State's catching 10. 10 points. Give me the Cowboys to stay in this game. I think they can give Texas a game here. I'm betting. I actually wouldn't be shocked if this is like a 2-possession game with 3 minutes left. What are you doing here?
I'll lock up Oklahoma State.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Texas
How about them
Cowboys? Texas missed.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go 100. Well, I mean, might as well sprinkle on the money line, but I'm not gonna say 100%. Like Oklahoma State's just gonna win the game outright. But you're telling me Oklahoma State can't make this close with how they're playing? And a letdown for Texas? No.
Yeah. Duquesne is at George Mason. I know you like to take Virginia basketball teams. We're gonna put you through the ringer on these Virginia teams today. I am on George Mason minus 3.5 against Duquesne, despite CJ Sullivan, Duquesne grad, telling me, watch out for my Dukes. They're coming into Fairfax and getting the dub. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I'll roll with you.
Let's go.
Actually, no. I'm gonna stick with you.
I have a lock. I have a couple mid-major locks here. So I was on Western Carolina to take down Furman the other night, and they did in a really good game in the SoCon. Now they're heading to Chattanooga, Tennessee. I think it's wrong place, wrong time. I am with Chattanooga -3.5. Let's go. I bet that. I don't know if you have a feeling on that one, but I also like Wilmington. They've lost 2 in a row. Towson comes to Wilmington. I think Wilmington covers the 3.5. What are you doing here?
So is Wilmington good?
I mean, I thought they won at Kentucky this year, but they have been tough. They've struggled a little bit down the stretch.
I don't think I can bet
them. Creighton is now laying 6.5 or 7 against Marquette. No Tyler Kolek today. Creighton is going to win by 1,000. I will bet. I already bet it at 4.5, but I mean,
I'll battle you.
Woo! Nobody's gonna.
You are forgetting who's on the other side of the ball. Without Tyler Kolek, this Creighton team is better than this Marquette team. But guess what? The coach that they have on the other side of the ball is great when the other team is better than him. When he's better than the other team, that's when you have pause. That's when you question it. But when the other team is legitimately better than him on the road and he's an underdog, he hits at 60+%. I don't know. You guys are falling into the trap here.
60%, but not in Omaha. In Omaha, no one wins in fucking Omaha. No top 10 teams are going to come in and win in Omaha. This is on Stormwatch. Let's do a little battle. Dundee with the Blue Jays. Terrell with the Golden Eagles. Penn State's at Minnesota. Minnesota's having quite the year here. Penn State's getting 6.5. I will take Penn State though, because I'm still not buying into this Minnesota team all the way. What are you doing here?
Why are you not buying into Minnesota? What's your issue with Minnesota?
They have one of the worst non-cons. I just don't.
But there's other people that have pretty bad non-cons that they're not the number one team ATS this season.
Oh, I know they've been a magical team ATS, but I don't think they're that good. I mean, they're probably going to win today, but Penn State will cover. Penn State's remember Mike Rhodes in year 1. They're getting better as the season goes along. I think they can stay within this number.
People that fade Minnesota all year have lost a lot of money. I'm not doing it. I'm not joining that group. Minnesota lock it
up. We're doing battle again.
Yep.
At the barn.
You know I'm a Mike Rhodes guy.
Lions. Yeah, and you're fading your boy.
Is Ace Baldwin playing today?
I think so. That would alter my my handicap if he was not. Yeah, he's playing. Uh oh. A little pressure on your boys.
He's been a little banged up. He'll be all
right. The American East is going to deem a champion today. UMass Lowell's in second place. They head to Vermont. Vermont's laying 7.5. Get this UMass Lowell bullshit out of here. You're not going to go into the Roy L. Patrick Gymnasium and get a dub in a critical game. Vermont is 12-1 at home. They're 9-1 playing in their last 10 games. I'm sorry, Lowell. If this was at Lowell, I might buy in. But you're not going to go into that stadium and win this game. I will lay the 7.5 with the Catamounts. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I'll lay it with the Catamounts too. I mean, it's a system play. There's really nothing to talk about.
Another awesome game. South Florida, if they win today, clinch and win the AAC regular season championship. Charlotte both these teams have been just unbelievable stories this year. Charlotte doing a great job with Fern as coach, interim coach, now permanent head coach. He's done so good in this spot. And hang on, the people are asking about the injury situation with. I am not seeing any injuries in the Lowell Vermont game. Doesn't mean that, but as far as the place that I'm using, anyway, South Florida's getting 3.5 at Charlotte. I can't believe this because you're sitting there saying, wait a second, South Florida's won 13 straight games. You're at Charlotte. Charlotte wants any chance of winning this thing. They can cut this game lead to what, 1.5, I believe today. I think 1. If they win this game, and then there's two games left, so they're keeping their hopes alive. But having Charlotte as a 3.5 point favorite when there are 4 games, they only have 17 wins to USF's 21, and USF's won 13 straight. Vegas is telling you what to do. I disagree, Daquan in the chat. I'm all over Charlotte minus 3.5. Storm watch, by the way. Storm watch in effect in Charlotte. What are you doing here?
This is USF's first time in program history being ranked in the top 25. First game ever. Never been ranked in the top 25. This is a fade of all fades. Like, I don't even know what we're talking about here. You said a lot of things, and a lot of those things were in a consideration. But this is a fade of a team whose first appearance is on the road in a contested conference game as a top 25 team. They're not going to be in the top 25 by Tuesday. I'll let you know right now. USF's taking an L. Charlotte minus 4.5. Lock it up.
Boom. And I do see a 3.5 out there if you can find it.
And they should 100% storm.
Yes.
So only storm if you cover the spread too. If you win by 3, win by 2, don't go storm the court. But if you cover the spread, then
what if it's a buzzer beater? What if it's a half court buzzer beater?
Nah, don't storm. You didn't cover.
Man.
You didn't cover. No, but if you're up 2 and you take a half court buzzer beater to cover the spread, everybody.
Oh man. And Cracky the Cocaine Bear says no. Veretto and TJ Hurley are out, and he's right. I googled this. It's funny. The app I was using did not alert me to those injuries. So thank you, Cracky the Cocaine Bear. Both are out for Vermont today. Maybe that is part of the reason why the line is short. I'm still on Vermont. A culture play. I mean, I already bet the game too, but I still believe culture play. USC is at Washington. Washington's laying 4.5. Can Bronny James and the Trojans go up to Seattle and get this dub? I'm on Washington, but I don't feel good. I don't feel good about this. What are you doing here?
USC sucks, man. Let's not drink the Kool-Aid. USC sucks.
I got a lock here. Mississippi State is coming to the jungle. Auburn, after being up a lot of that Tennessee game, they found a way to lose it. Now they come back home. Mississippi State struggles to score on the road.
Struggle to score anyway.
Yeah, I'm all over Auburn minus 9.5 at the jungle. Let's go. Let's go. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I'll take Auburn minus 9.5. Although I do believe in the Mississippi State defense, I truly think Mississippi State might touch 55, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's good spot to jump on Auburn.
In the jungle, and you already can't score. Like, you gotta no.
Yeah, I'm all over that. NC State is at your Tar Heels. Rivalry game. 10.5 is what the Wolfpack are getting. I took the 10.5. I don't have any strong conviction with the Pussy Pack, but Moneyline Mac did lock up the Wolfpack. He thinks they're going to keep it very close.
Moneyline Mac I bet you if I went through the season, Moneyline Mac has locked up the team against North Carolina or Duke like at least once every other game. I'll give them every other game.
Yeah, I look, and I'm going to add in South Carolina because I've been high on Lamont Paris this year, and I know Moneyline Mac he's got his boy. He's repping his boy. Frank Martin, he thought deserved more time in Columbia. He took them to their only Final Four, and he was upset about the way things went down.
I can't fault him for being loyal. I will not.
Yeah.
I'll fault you for a number of things. I won't fault you for being loyal.
Yeah. So, but he's going against South Carolina.
No, because I don't have faith in UNC. I really want to. I want to do the fade Mac for it, but I'm not going to. He hates us. He hates us.
Yeah, well, he doesn't have the loyalty thing.
Plus
you taking NC State? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'll take points.
Okay.
I think that UNC is going to win, but I do think that NC State is going to. This is their Super Bowl. They're going to get up for this game. This is the rivalry game. They want to prove that they can compete, they can belong, and they have a spot in the tournament. So they're going to get up for this game. NC State loses by 4.
Yeah. I got to ask about A&T getting 10.5 at Campbell. I think they can cover it. Your boys.
They just got their teeth kicked in on senior night. Can say that.
At 10.5, they can cover. Campbell stormed the last time they played a game on that court.
They did storm. Yeah, fate the storm. Fate the Stormers. Game after 10.5.
Iowa State's at UCF. The top 10 Iowa State is at UCF. Why is this line so short? They're laying only 3.5 or 4 shop around. I'm betting UCF. UCF money line. UCF money line. It's happening. The moon bounce will be rocking. Double lock right there.
Scoring sometimes, man.
Yeah,
the defense is great, but sometimes they can't score. If you let UCF in the game at home, they just might take it over.
Yes. I also like Montana State against Eastern Washington. Just Eastern Washington already clinched. Look out for that today. Some advice to people out there is look out for the teams that have already clinched. I don't know if Eastern Washington will even play everybody, just because of the fact they've already got the 1 seed there. So Montana State getting 10.5 I know it's at Eastern Washington, but they've already clinched. Give me Montana State plus the 10.5. I don't think it's crazy to sprinkle the money line either. I also like Montana against Idaho. Here's one for us. Iowa. I think I was live at Northwestern.
What? Really?
I think I was live.
I did not know that was the side you was going to be on here.
Staples on Staples, man. Staples on Staples. And Northwestern's due for one of these games. Like if you look at Northwestern's having an unbelievable year. Chris Collins deserves all the credit in the world, but they're due for just a setback game. They lost to Chicago State at home. They lost to some other team.
Why is it this one against Iowa though?
I just feel like Iowa's playing better ball right now. The past week, I've been impressed with Iowa. I know they lost at Illinois. That was deceiving. They should have covered that game. That was a 2-point game with 2 minutes left. They beat Penn State. They covered for us against Penn State. They won in East Lansing. They won against Wisconsin. I just think they're playing good basketball right now. I'm going to take a shot on the Hawkeyes to win in Evanston, not Evansville. Yeah, play it on the money line too. I think plus 125. I think you can get. What are you doing here?
No, I'm locking up Northwestern here. 14-1 at home against 3-8 on the road. Iowa. This is the Big Ten, so home court is king in the Big Ten. And I understand. I think that they are due for a loss, but I think the loss is coming the game after this. I don't think it's this one. I think the loss is coming next game. In the revenge game at Michigan State is where they take that loss. And I'm shocked. I'm shocked. I really thought that this was going to be a consensus.
You don't think this line smells? You just said it yourself.
Yeah, but Northwestern still isn't that good.
On the road. 3-8 on the road.
Yeah.
And Northwestern's 14-1 at home, and this is a 2.5-point spread right now.
I'll take my chances with Northwestern.
I think Vegas is telling you. Let's do a little battle. Dundee on the Hawkeyes. Terrell on the Wildcats.
I think Iowa's getting this off name value in the Big Ten. And Northwestern just is known not to be a good basketball school. Like that's got to be what this is.
This next one, poor Wake Forest. You upset Duke, you make the NCAA tournament, then you go to South Bend, lay an egg, and unfortunately, now you got to head to Cassell Coliseum, take on Virginia Tech. Wake Forest, I feel like every year Steve Forbes gets them right close to the bubble. So you can't get in, and I don't think they're winning today. I think Virginia Tech's fire at home. I'm all over the Hokies -1.5, and I will lock this one up. Double lock here?
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
Let's go with these Hokies.
Let me keep you in the great Commonwealth of Virginia here, sir, because it's a game that I don't think a lot of people are talking about. But VCU is going to Richmond to play the Richmond Spiders in what is a rivalry game with two of the top teams in the A10. And as much as I love my VCU Rams, and I promise you I do, if Richmond ever had a chance, is this one right here. If they ever had a chance to knock off VCU, it's this one right here. VCU is the superior school, but Richmond gets it done today. Richmond -2.5 at home.
Woo! You know, I like this today because we are battling a lot.
Whew.
My logic is this: VCU on the road has been fire. Richmond, Chris Mooney's doing an unbelievable job this year. Considering they lost Burton to Villanova, they're a much younger team. But Richmond's the one with the target on them. They're in first place in the A10. VCU comes in there. Yeah, VCU comes in there, gets it done. Let's do a little battle. I'm on the Rams. Terrell, disappointed. Look at this. He's a VCU guy and he's taking Richmond, the private school pussies. Oh my God. What'd you have for breakfast? What happened over there?
Private school pussies. Hey man, VCU has whooped they ass. Like whooped they ass year after year after year. Whooped they ass. This is their best chance. Everybody gets Big Brother once. Everybody gets one hit on Big Brother. That's all it is.
Let's stay with the state of Virginia, because Tony Bennett and the Wahoos are catching 9.5 in Cameron Indoor Stadium. It's a big number. It's a big number. I'll take the look. I don't think this Virginia team's any good, but what I do know is Tony Bennett can stretch a game like no other. I think Duke wins by 7. Give me like an 80. No, who am I kidding? Give me a 65-57 type game. And yeah, they get the cover. But I'm not betting this game. I'm not betting this. What are you doing here? You're on that as well?
Yeah, UVA needs a really good win too. Like they really, really need a really good win. I wouldn't be surprised if UVA gets this done on the money line, to be honest. 10-point loss to UNC. 10-point loss to UNC at home. You go and you barely squeak past BC at BC. Like this is the spot. They come back to back road spot. Get up. This is the game they were looking forward to. Top 10 matchup. You get to avenge, the loss that you had against North Carolina in another game that you needed. Like they need one of these top 10 games. So yeah, I like them on the spread, of course, +9.5. But I don't think the money line is out of the range of possibility for the Dukies today.
It is a huge game considering they're still in the mix. Pitt is laying 1 at Boston College. I'll take Pitt. Don't feel good about it. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take it. I'm not betting. Don't bet that game.
Texas Tech is laying 4 at West Virginia. I'll buy into Max shit here.
Is this him being a homer?
I think Texas Tech struggles. They're kind of like Mississippi State. They struggle to score on the road, man. And West Virginia should have beat K-State the other night. I know West Virginia is not good this year, but I do think they're better than their record from like a roster standpoint. I could see them beating Texas Tech today. If not, I can see this when you get 4. I could see this being a 1 or 2 possession game. What are you doing here?
I'll say West Virginia. They need something. They need something to go their way.
Cracky says Boston College senior night. Lock in the Eagles against Pitt. It's an interesting angle. Kind of like it. Texas A&M heads to Georgia. Both these teams.
I just think you should call 1-800-GAMBLER if you feel like you have to lock Boston College. Like you can lean to Boston College. You can think Boston College is going to win. You cannot be surprised if Boston College wins. But if you think that you have to like actually like bet it, like of course they're going to win some games eventually. Everybody wins a game, but yikes. Yikes.
I have a rule, Boston College athletics. Yeah, I don't normally like to touch unless it's hockey. And I don't bet much college hockey, but you could sell me. A stranger could sell me on, hey, Boston College hockey's loaded this year, and be like, oh, okay. Texas A&M's at Georgia. Both these teams just ass since February. I'm gonna take the buzzsaw one more time. No bet. I've lost too much money on the buzzsaw. What are you doing here?
I don't even know which way I lean. Can this be a tie? Can this end in a tie? Does that happen? Give me any other game like this, I'd take the point. So just give me the +1. Home team +1.5, sure.
UCLA's at Washington State. Washington State's in the mix to win the Pac-12. UCLA is getting 5.5. You know what it was for last night? I thought I would take Washington State 5.5. I think I buy into UCLA here. What are you doing here?
Nah, I'm gonna trust it. Washington State -7.
Rice. Is that what? No, we don't need to talk about that. Although I do like Rice against Wichita State. Kansas State heads to Cincinnati. Let me just update this. Make sure the line. What line are you seeing for this?
6.5.
I lean Cincinnati, but I don't. No bet. What are you doing here?
Cincinnati's at home. Cincinnati's at home. I'll take Cincinnati.
I'm fascinated by these Ivy League games. Cornell is at Princeton. We don't have a line yet on that. I don't think.
I got 5 for Princeton, -5.
I like Princeton. Let me ask you while we're at it then. Dartmouth and Brown. Do you have a line on that?
Dartmouth and Brown. Hold on. Let me go. We have 11.5, -11.5 for Brown.
We're locking up fucking Dartmouth and Princeton. Brown stormed the court last night, Terrell. We should take and they play last night. The Ivy does these 24-hour play on Friday, play on Saturday. We got to jump in on. I know Dartmouth's terrible, but still, Brown stormed the court. 16.
So do they storm the court back-to-back games, back-to-back days? Or do we have back-to-back storms here?
Potentially, but Dartmouth is 0-13 on the road. I don't know if they'll storm for an 0-13 team on the road.
We don't storm for them.
I don't know, but I think Dartmouth can cover this spread, and I also Princeton and Cornell is a great game, but I think Princeton gets a little revenge and gets it done against them. So I like both those angles. What are you doing here? You in on this? You in on this parlay? I'm sorry. Parlay / Moneyline. Money. Actually, no, it's not a Moneyline play. It's just a parlay. Haven't had my coffee.
I like Princeton. I don't think I'm gonna bet Dartmouth. I think I'm good on that game. I might, but I like Princeton here. I think this is a great spot for Princeton, and I'm getting live moving in my favor. I like it.
All right, you want to get a little crazy here, Clark in the chat. Shout out to Clark.
Mm-hmm.
He's a diehard Georgetown Hoya fan.
Okay.
I tried to sell CJ on this. He told me to go fuck myself. I think Georgetown. Look, Ed Cooley's had a tough year one. I think they could win today. I think they could win today against Xavier. Xavier's beat up. Their season's kind of cooked. I know Xavier's been the better team this year. 7.5 points.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's worth a little plus 275 sprinkle on the Hoyas. Clark says it. Yeah, I think they got a chance today. See, there we go. Let's ride.
This is how it happens.
What's
this
that?
is how it happens. Georgetown covers the 7.5 today. Don't win, but they cover. Providence gets the win today. On Tuesday, Georgetown beats Providence outright at home in their last home game of the season. That's the script. That's the script. Cover today, don't win. Against Providence, Ed Cooley against his former squad, last game of the season.
Almost got him in Providence, yeah.
So I'm not going to bet them today because the next game is Providence. That's the only reason I'm not betting them today. But I still going to take Georgetown plus 7.5. But that next game, that's the one I'm eyeing for them. That's the one.
I'm jumping in on the 7.5. They're covering today. Let's go. Clemson's at Notre Dame. Clemson's laying 5.5. Clemson years. The Clemson team of the past 5 years loses this game right before they make the NCAA tournament. I'll take a shot on Notre Dame plus 5.5. No bet. What are you doing here?
Ooh-wee. I really don't want to take Notre Dame, man. I get what you're saying, though. I understand it. I'm not going to do it, though. Yes, I get it. I'm not going to do it.
Shout out to Costco in the chat. Says Colby, what do I think of UT Martin? I think I actually went Tennessee State in that, but I didn't have any strong conviction to it. Costco, sorry, doesn't. I don't know. I lean Tennessee State, but no, don't feel good about that one. New Mexico's at Boise State. Boise State's laying 3.5. I'm actually going to bet Boise State minus 3.5. I think Boise at home is just a different, New Mexico, where you see this with Richard Pitino teams, not Rick Pitino, Richard Pitino teams struggle down the stretch. So,
why would they name them like? I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
Richard, Dick Pitino. Shout out to Dick Pitino.
Look, his son doesn't have the courage to wear an all-white suit. That's why he's not winning in March. You know what I mean? You see Rick the other day?
All white after Labor Day is kind of crazy.
only Rick Pitino can pull that off. You know, he's the white knight. You know, he's getting it done. Michigan State's getting 10.5 at Purdue. Dude, it's March. Izzo wins.
Man, you guys always say this, and when does he ever like? When does he?
He gets to the tournament. I think
that's probably one of the biggest gambler fallacies at this point. What's the numbers? Show me. I want somebody to show me the numbers.
But they make the tournament every year. I swear they make the tournament every year.
I swear it feels like he hasn't done anything in March in like the past few seasons. Like,
I'm not saying in the tournament. I'm saying he gets there. I think they're going to give Purdue all they can handle today. Purdue may win the game, but Sparty's going to keep it within 4 or 5 points. I'm betting it.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
I'm also betting this next one. Huge game in the SEC. Tennessee and Alabama. Alabama's laying 3.5. Revenge game for the Tide. Tennessee. This is a huge game. This is a gigantic game, but I think Alabama's going to get it done at home. I'm going to lay that. Well, now it's 3.5, but it was 2.5. Lay it though. Lay it. Tide's going to win by 7 or 8. What are you doing here?
Man. So this is the thing about Rick Barnes. Rick Barnes is really good at the end of the season, but he's really, really good at the end of the season at home. Like it's really at home is where that spot. That's why I was all over them when they were playing. Who were they playing earlier this week where they lose 7?
Auburn.
And I took them Auburn. Yeah. So now they're on the road at Alabama. I think I'm gonna go Alabama -3.5. Even though I'm concerned because Rick Barnes really does like that's what Rick Barnes does. He puts together wins after Valentine's Day before the tournament because he knows when he gets to the tournament he's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
So it makes me nervous. I'm not going to bet against Tennessee because of that, but I'll take Alabama -3.5. I'm not going to
I like the Alabama angle. I'm also on Sam Houston State minus the points against Middle Tennessee's horrible on the road. So load up on that. Hey, Chris in the chat says Moneyline parlay Montana State, Oklahoma State, Michigan State, TCU, and Iowa. I mean, you're gonna be a millionaire. Luck. You're gonna be a millionaire tonight, Christopher.
That sounds. Right? What does that pay? Yeah. That sounds like it pays something crazy, man.
May I suggest a round robin? Because wouldn't it be a bitch? Wouldn't it be a bitch if Iowa cost you? If you get through the other ones,
as the shortest dog on the board.
Anyway, what do we got? Houston, number 1 in the nation. The Houston Cougars. Kelvin Sampson returning to Norman, Oklahoma, where he coached for so long. This is the first time back in Norman. Emotional game for him. Houston's laying 6.5 points. I think Oklahoma's live, man. I think Oklahoma's live. I think Houston, they have Kansas coming up. They have UCF coming up. I think
Houston and they keep making me eat shit.
I think Oklahoma can keep it within 6.5, maybe even win the game. So add this to your Moneyline parlay, Chris. Yes, he says he's storming the court if the Sooners cover. Kaysen does. He's going to the game. Shout out, tag us in that at TCE on SGPN, Kaysen. I like it. I like it. What are you doing here? You it seems like you don't have much conviction on this one.
No. I'm not. I want to take. That's my quarter most of it, and I want to take Oklahoma, but I continue to take L's with Houston, man. Yeah.
Well, Missouri's winless in the SEC until today. Ole Miss comes to Missouri. Missouri is getting 1.5 points. Missouri wins their first SEC game today. Lock it up. Lock it up. Let's go. What are you doing here?
Good luck. Good luck. I hope it happens for you because I'm not betting against you, but I'm not betting with you. But I'm not betting against you. I mean, they got a couple more. This might be their best chance.
This is it. This is it, man. This is it.
This might be the best chance.
Load up.
Right.
Get in there.
I'll go with Missouri, man. I haven't lost much money on this age.
Shout out to Richard. Because I'm from Toronto. That's the home of Zach Edey. But Purdue's a bunch of pussies. But Edey is born in Toronto, so fuck you. I appreciate the comment. And I always enjoy someone telling me to go fuck myself. So, it's just fun. It's just fun. I was going to mention this. Someone just said, what are your money line plays? I think it was Homie Tunes, right? We've given out some that we like already, but I think this one probably is my favorite money line play. BYU just won at the Fog in Kansas. TCU just got beat by Baylor. TCU is a veteran team. I think they're like the top 10 most experience in the nation. I think they're top 5 actually. I think TCU can win at the Super Soaker today in Provo. They're getting 6.5, 7 points. I think the money line's like 220 or something. I like TCU to go in there and win this game. I mean, take the points to cover your ass because BYU Magic, maybe they hit a 3 at the buzzer or something. But I'm all over the Frogs. Love this play. And I do. Clark's right. I like UCF too as a money line play. We've given away a few that we really like. Terrell, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with CCU here. It's the BYU. We win one, lose one, win one, lose one. Like that's just how it goes. Win one, lose one, win one, lose one. And that's the order of how things work for BYU. So they got the win against KU. They lost against Kansas State. Now it's time for a win at BYU. CCU on the money line.
Let's go. Let's go. Final game I'll ask you about before we get to a parlay, but Gonzaga, St. Mary's. Gonzaga's fighting for their postseason life. St. Mary's also, they've clinched. They already won the 1 seed, but it's not often that they get to sweep Gonzaga. And I believe Randy Bennett coach teams.
No. Are you like the sweep?
I do.
This is the point where you fade Gonzaga.
I see both sides. I see both sides.
Gonzaga makes you. This is the point where everybody fades Gonzaga. They think that this is the point, and no. That's St. Mary's all the way. No way.
St. Mary's. I think Randy Bennett knows that if they never sweep Gonzaga, this is the year to do it. This is the year to do it, man. They're down. Catch them while they're down. But I battled Mac on this. Mac's on the Zags. I think St. Mary's, and that's another. St. Mary's is playing for the perfect season in WCC. That goes up on a fucking plaque. 100 years from now, they're going to see the team photo of this team if they pull this off today.
Clark said they got 3 seniors on the squad. They're used to losing to Gonzaga. Gonzaga gets the win.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. You lock at that?
Yeah, I will. This is the point.
Well, I don't get bring the head cold,
but they're counting down 7-6-5.
We're doing battle. Dundee on the Gales. Terrell on them Bulldogs. Let's go. Parlay to get out of here. I mean, I'll give away that money line parlay. I like that UCF TCU angle. I know we gave away a bunch of others. I just say, keep it to 2 or 3. I not that I disagree. That one guy's going to be a millionaire when he hits that 6-game parlay or whatever it was.
Well, maybe not. He's got Iowa. I'm lying. He's taking Iowa today, so maybe not.
But I do like UCF TCU. Man, I mean, I think Oklahoma State could give them a game, but hold on, let me see what else I got in the mix here.
Let's see.
I think Georgia Tech, but I know you don't agree there.
We both like Baylor. We talked about Baylor, the Baylor, Wisconsin, and Providence parlay earlier.
Yeah, so I like that. So lock that in. Baylor, Wisconsin, Providence parlay separately. All favorites.
We got to throw for minus 7.5 in there.
Yeah. Vermont minus 7.5 added to that parlay, but moneyline dog parlay, TCU, UCF, and how about Missouri? TCU, UCF.
No. Let's not take a team that doesn't have a win in the conference, because if that's the leg that misses, we both are going to look at it like, man, we could have went somewhere else with that. Let's go with
Oklahoma. Oklahoma's live potentially. Georgetown. Let's do Georgetown. They don't have a win either, do they? They have one win.
Don't make me do it the game before Providence. No, let's go with
West Virginia. It's West Virginia.
Okay.
It's West Virginia.
I can roll with Mac in West Virginia.
All 3 Big 12 teams: TCU money line, UCF money line, West Virginia money line. Let's get it done.
Big 12 dog parlay.
Yes, Big 12 dog parlay. And boom, that's it, folks. Appreciate you tuning in. Shout out. And Marcus He says Montana State. Marcus He played college football for the Grizzlies. Shout out to Marcus He. Yeah, I do think Montana State's 10.5 point dog against EW, and I like a Montana parlay. Can I add that to the mix? Take the 10.5 in Montana State and lay the 5 with the Grizz in Moscow. So, boom, little Montana parlay. Yeah, we had someone asking for gas money before in the chat. Entertaining. When the times my car ran out of gas, the last thing I've thought about is, can I join a chat and ask for money? I mean, I hope the guys, if he's telling the truth, I hope he's figured this out. But I think there's better ways to ask people. But anyway, hopefully he's got some gas in his car. Terrell, give Terrell a follow on Twitter at @reallyRel_Terrell. Always does great work. Check out the NBA Gambling Podcast, the WNBA Gambling Podcast, and the NFL Gambling Podcast. I'm on Twitter at DColbyD. Bryce says, did I miss Colgate? I actually faded Colgate. That line's only 3. Lehigh's been playing better. So I actually faded Colgate against the Mountain Hawks there. Yeah, subscribe to the College Basketball Experience. Look, right now, 125 people in here. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. That helps us a lot. And yeah, have a wonderful Saturday. I'll be on Sports Grid in about an hour and a half, I think. And then I'll be on VSiN later on. And then tonight, myself, Moneyline Mac, will be breaking down all of the action. It's such a critical Saturday. So check it out, folks. Until next time, this is the College Basketball Experience. You better start thinking about yours. And we are out of here. Run and shoot. We can really run and shoot. And the whole team's cooking and the whole world's looking with the cameras. Run and shoot. We can really run and shoot. And you know what you're getting, 'cause the book's rewritten with a game. Shoot.